A pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and the world at large. Friends all. Today, as we sit down here watching how the world going through this crisis and what happening around the world, one have to ask a question: what next? And which country next? We have seen after the 7th of October what happened in Israel, which we condemn it wholeheartedly for the innocent people that lost their life, all because of occupiers taking people's country, bulldozing their home, shooting at them, and when the young man throw stone, according to information is alleged, they break their hand, 2 places, and lock them up in prison. While the world played deaf and closed their eyes, we condemn men like Ho Chi Minh. We condemn men like Gaddafi, Fidel Castro. And history cannot prove that they have done like what our friends in Israel are doing today. I want to know who runs this world. I am an American, and I respect the struggling men and women that lost their life in many wars to protect this democracy and freedom for all. But today, all we give is lip service. We can sanction Cuba. We can sanction Iran and Iraq. We can sanction Venezuela. We can sanction anybody because we have the voice in the United Nations. Friends, as a human being born in this world, the only difference of us is cultures and languages. I have lived to see, regardless of all the corruption that rises in the world of today, we ask many questions. Who is right and who is wrong? If you are in a country out of the mainland of Africa and you are in the Caribbean and elsewhere, you will hear white man enslave our ancestors. White man slave us. But the race that's speaking like that love God, and God allow, and I said it, God allow his prophets to be slaves. Even one of the brothers, as I mentioned before, was sold by his own as a slave, and he could have interpreted any dream that give him a break in the empire of the ruling class at the time. Friends, it's a shame to know in modern time we still sit down and look back at the past and we cannot make a correction and do better for the future. I will ask this question every time. The East Indian of India, they don't cry slavery because, to be honest, they are very corrupt, confused. They don't care about nobody but themselves. Take the Prime Minister of India today. In one of his campaigns, he said India is only for Hindus. And I have seen on Facebook in India, a 13 or 12 or 14-year young girl was beaten to death with a sledgehammer because she's a Muslim. I call upon our president in Guyana, Mr. Ali, as a Muslim, and what takes place, call your ambassador out of India immediately. We must not tolerate this kind of violation towards a fellow human being, regardless of religion or nationality. We must not associate with Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and many other Arab countries like Libya of today, when it's alleged they are beating and killing innocent African children, men, women, and others from other countries who go there for work, and raping them. And those people supposed to be the people who call upon Allah every single day, 5 and 6 times a day. Friends all, when this nonsense will ever stop? We have witnessed and heard about many wars. We heard about the First World War. We heard about the Second World War because we wasn't here, but many people lived through it, still alive. We heard about the Holocaust. What happened to our Jewish friends, brothers, fellow human like ourselves. And we condemn it. But was not only the Jews was massacred. According to information, the Jehovah's Witness people were annihilated too. Plus other nations around the vicinity of the war at the time. But if we continue saying we have 12 African on a ship, 12 Indian on a ship, 12 European on a ship, 12 Chinese on a ship, and we are all in the ocean and we only have 6 Jews. But 3 survive and 3 die, but every other body die with them. Why we only amplifying the Jews but not the rest? Or you're like better than us? Or is it God really made a mistake if we all are the chosen people? Well, I would rather be in the pit of hell. I don't believe my God shall brigade among human beings. So all this bloody historical nonsense must stop for this next generation. I congratulate the university students around the world, the future leader of the universe, on the protest for human rights, violation in Palestine, as much as in many other countries around the world, the Sudan, the African continent, India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and yet people can't understand. Friends, this world is not about white man, black man, brown man, yellow man, green man, purple man. It's about man. And don't matter what we do in this world, none of us will live forever. You read your Quran and the Bible. You heard about Nebuchadnezzar, the Pharaoh, the Caesar, the Alexander the Great, the Oliver Cromwell. Where are all of them? Are they farewell? Friends, you heard about Haile Selassie. Where is he today? They call him the grandson of King David. Biblical heritage come to plague the land of Ethiopia and many more. Today we have seen the descendant of African and Indians in the Caribbean. But yet our African brothers are talking about emancipation, but not going back to Africa. In the Caribbean, what don't belong to them, by the way, because they were brought there by the Europeans who colonized those countries. Like they had colonized India, China at one time, Hong Kong, and not forgetting the mainland of Africa. But today those countries are free. The Caribbean, ladies and gentlemen, and the South American country, and the America is not free. But we must have to live together and involve every human into the development and prosperity of the nation that we are living in, and stop talk about emancipation and not constipation, and arrival but not derive. Something not right here. I don't hear the Chinese who come out of Hong Kong and China, living in the Caribbean and Latin and South America and Guyana, speak about slavery. I don't hear the Portuguese. I don't hear the Irish. But yes, the Irish also in America was a slave. And there were big sign in some place I was made to understand is alleged. There's no place for niggers, dogs, and Irish. I was made to understand that. It's alleged. How I get it, that's how I give it to you. As raw as it comes. But I only hear our black brothers, historians and sisters, the white man slave us. The white man was slave, my friends. Go to Paris, France. Go to Italy. Go to Greece. Go all the way into London and go to the museum. Today, we, the modern generation, have to draw a line in the sand. Enough is enough. If it was not for those Europeans enter the shore of India, China, and Africa, we wouldn't have black people, Indian and Chinese in the West Indies or in the Americas, who are inheriting the slave trade. Answer me. I hear many blacks are talking about reparation. Even Guyana Indian president went to England, the UN, and talking about reparation, but cannot give the Amerindian respiration. He talking about reparation. This is a man who prays 6 times a day, holding the Holy Quran to Muhammad and turned to the east. But I think he treat the Amerindian worse than beasts. But there is a God. I am not the judge. I am not the judge. We are victims in Guyana. And I am calling on the government of Guyana presently to investigate what I'm saying before it is too late. And let it be known to all of you, all crime that was committed against us. You lie on us, you make the lock us up, beat us naked, fight for our land, there's no problem, we get that and leave it. Your generation shall be cursed by the hands of God. Your daughter shall pick fear until she dies, and your granddaughter. And your sons, the Bible said it, not me. Jesus said the sins of the person shall fall upon the generation, 6 and 7. So I repeat it. And since black people love God and love Jesus, talk to him, don't come to me. I'm only following what he said. And I believe it is. But you Indian, my God, that is why I said Judas was an Indian. Sweet talking, very close. But when you get ready, you're full of hatred, jealousy, corruption. You're very vindictive, spiteful, covetous. You love the Obia man. You will do anything to get what you want. And therefore you are a disease that no cure. Trust me. But then again, you have good and bad amongst both major races. In Guyana, when the late firstborn was ruling Guyana, if any blacks, not who born after what happened in the 60s, born in Burnham time, know what's going on and reject it, that didn't happen, may God make them run mad. Because it happened. But not all of you do it. But let it be known to y'all, 7 Indians crossed the floor when the coalition government with DGR, with the 7 seats, to help Burnham. If not, the United States would have wiped Guyana nation off the face of the earth, because Jagan, they like the red clothes as communism. If Cuba was on the mainland of the America, they would have blew it off. Nicaragua tried something, and you see what happened? Take Honduras, Mexico, you see what happened? Chile, y'all better find out what happened. Friends, no crime shall go unpaid. And let it be known to y'all, a few days ago, you see the U.S. flew 2 planes in the air of Guyana. I will use the word alleged, okay? But I warn y'all in the future that America is your leader of Guyana. And therefore, those who you call president, prime minister, are overseers of the country. America is the boss. Joe Biden is your president. I said many months ago, before Britain lifted the ban on Guyana, excuse me, that Guyanese will be allowed to travel freely to Britain without a visa. And it went through. I spoke that one day America shall lift the ban and every Guyanese will be coming to America with not a visa. And it's going to happen soon. Y'all hearing it already. I encourage the United States and England to come and take Guyana's sovereignty back. Because if it was not for them, the Jews would have been in Guyana in 1947. And if I could turn back the clock, I would have gladly have the Jews than have the two of you who fighting over nothing, killing each other, once a corrupt politician getting rich. And the court cannot practice fairly without racism and a political call from a corrupt minister. Or an Indian corrupt businessman who likes to bribe, and the lawyer know who to bridge, magistrate and judge to bribe, and police to bribe, to lock up and make charge. Let it be known to you, all of you who take bribe and hurt innocent people, the tears from them shall fall upon your generation. They will not make it. I am telling you here today. We all have good and bad amongst our family, our friends. But that does not mean because you are my children or my brother, I must hide your father, you are my mother. No! You need to repent and change. You need to be exposed if you do not want to listen. And no man is without a curse. I read in one of my comments from one person with the initial N. If you are a man, show your face like me. Or if you're a woman, show your face like me with your right name. Why are you hiding in your mother crush? Today's Mother's Day. You open up your leg and come out, man. You are nothing but a blasted, ignorant Indian bastard if you're an Indian. Or if you're black, then the N word suits you. Because N. Show your face. Don't be afraid. Don't come with no bogus thing. And let me tell you what you say about CARICOM. If you want to know who robbed CARICOM and who created CARICOM, while your father tried with your mother, but she or he couldn't come, you better stepfather, you better get your DNA. Go check it out. We don't thief. We don't want nothing from nobody, and we don't want power in a country that we were born that belonged to another nation called the indigenous people, ruled by two dangerous people, Indian and black. You all have the right president, walking, dancing, and whining among y'all. Heavy music. You all have the right people. But so it was written, so it will be done. The evil things that you all do shall fall upon your doorstep and your children. Every Guyanese deserves a piece of land to build a house and money to build a house. And saying that, all TV station, 9:30 in the night, must be the word of God for 2 hours. 4:30 in the morning, same thing. Because this world belongs to the Creator. All right? We cannot be worshiping Satan all the time, 24 hours a day. Get drunk, dance, and whorehouse, and prostitution, and robbing. The courthouse become a business deal. The registrar, the same thing. But don't worry. Every great nation fall. And changes will come. And if you're killing for these corrupt politicians, remember these words. When they get arrested, they're going to call your name. Where are you going to go at that time with your family? If you kill a man, you might as well kill out his family. Why, you leave his wife to prostitute and his daughter, his son to become drug dealers and killers like you. Kill them out and done. Because when your turn comes, so help me God, none will left. If you all don't change. I have a list, and I'm ashamed to say it. All the name that is written is black people name. Who's killers, hitman for government and corrupt businessmen. Judges, magistrate name all on it. I am shocked. I call upon the United States government, the English. Take your stake back in Guyana. And Guyana was not independent. You cannot thief a man building and give it to a stranger. It's an Amerindian country. They're still not free. And if Mr. Ali, as the president of Guyana, think I am lying, I beg of you to hand the Quran over, because there's a passage in there. I think you should have it. Thou shalt not covet thy brother's property. All right? And you black people in Guyana, you know it better than Imran. I love God. Jesus said the same thing. And two things that you both must listen to. Do unto others as you would like them do unto you. Don't matter much you are thief. When you're dead, you can't take it with you. Tell me. The richest man in India is 80 billion or 89 to 90 billion rich. His wife has 6 to 550 servants. He have more car than some of these car dealers in parking lot. But where is he going with all of that and his wife? Where did Queen Elizabeth put that throne when she died? Alexander the Great make it known to the world that when he died, he told the bearers before he died, put his 2 foot out and his 2 hands and carry on just a stretch and let us see. He takes nothing with him, not even the sword. Friends, why we cannot live together as one? Unite. Open up the door to Africa and India where Guyana started with the population but make laws. China, Portugal and the Caribbean but make laws. We shall not and will not tolerate 1 man, 5 and 6 and 4, 3 and 2 wives. If not, your wife need 5 and 6 men too. It must be an equal thing between people. So I do not believe in plenty things. So I urge you in the name of God, Allah, or Bhagwan, as you say, let's look for a leader that will make the nation proud. Exxon, I would challenge Exxon. I always say one thing, don't blame the buyer, blame the seller. Where's Nakamoto? Where's Ramjatan? Where's Stratman? Fellow Guyanese, the youth of today, don't listen to these politicians. You need a future. You need a check every month in your hand. But you have to unite. We want a law that when you're fighting a man for piece of land, and it proves that you are wrong, they must execute you. Get rid of the disease so you cannot do it again. And take what you have and give it to the person who was accusing. I would sign to that if I rob your penny, take everything I got and kill me. But if you amplify something that is not so, your whole generation must answer the call. Are you willing to take that chance? I'm willing to take any lie detector test. Are any one of you in Parliament ready for that? Is any judge magistrate ready for that? Or the police in the uniform? Or the priest in the mandir? The church? Or the masjid? Hypocrites? Wolves in sheep clothing. But again, you have good one among you. But how good are you when you shut your mouth and accept everything because you are getting something? I ask of you in the name of God Almighty, stop fighting one another. The PNC is not for you black people. And the PPP is not for you Indian people. We want a party for all the nation. And the only way we can do that, we must bring about not a coalition, a national front government, which will be governed by the native of the country that will stop the border differences from Venezuela to who claiming land. Administered by them and the other races. We tried the black man was chaos, darkness, rape, murder. We tried the Indians, is flood, and the same bullshit with corruption. Friends, who can we trust? We need a statue of the late Walter Rodney. We need the file to be reopened. Who killed Omar? Who killed Waddle? Father Doc was killed by a member of the Israel Church in Guyana, run by Mr. Hill. I urge you in the name of God, if you believe in the true teaching of Muhammad Ali, and you, Mr. Barajak, you the true teaching of Krishna Ram or whoever, and you, Mr. Philip, the teaching of Jesus, speak your mind and come together, right, Ijel? Think nothing lasts forever. You all might jail innocent people and kill a few, but when your time comes, it will be all of you. So when you see the American flew the plane over Guyana, y'all should not be afraid. The people got more rights there in World War II. The Chedijagan Airport is sitting on what they have underground tunnel during the Second World War. Think, during the Second World War, they were there to stop the Germans from getting into Central and South America. They have the legal rights. Come on, Ali. Give the American a few of the island on the Essequibo to put their base and to train the military. Because America may have a few mistakes in and out, because nothing is perfect. Even God say he make mistake by drowning the world. Man have a right to make more than one. And therefore, they will be able to control the Caribbean and others, but open up Guyana to the less fortunate. And all Guyanese, between the two major races who flee Guyana because of aggression, oppression, and spite from corrupt magistrates, judges, police, lawyers, and ministers in government, must return home to make Guyana the promised land. I beg of you, the youth of today, respect your wife, respect one another, unite. Your enemy is yourself. Start and unite for God's sake. If Ali is doing good, it's our duty to support the government. And I must be honest with you, they are investing. They are spending money all about. But if it costs $1 million, I could guarantee you it can go to more. But I have nothing against, because everywhere you see something going up. While on the PNC government, what went up come down, and people running out of the country, both major race, the educated ones. So I urge you, the Guyanese people, and I want to urge the United States government, if you are going to give Guyanese the opportunity to travel to America without visa, then my advice, they must have not a police record alone, because you could buy it. They must have a lie detector test. I will give you the question what to ask. You don't need nobody who are racial from Guyana to come in your country. You don't need nobody who's corrupt to come in your country. You don't need nobody who like to criticize when development is going forward to come into your country. And Guyana is full of them. So that is my advice to the U.S. Department. And I wish if the Canadian can do the same. But fellow Guyanese, with the right government, we all could be the richest people in the world, 800,000 citizens. With the wealth of the gold, the diamond, the mineral, and the oil, every Guyanese family can be a millionaire in US dollar. But Lord, to respect one another. Stop this fighting and nonsense and close down all whorehouse. Close it down. If a man want a whorehouse, let he use his wife, his daughter, his sister, and his mother. We must be much more civilized than that. Friends, y'all may not like what I am saying, But if I am saying anything wrong, give the Quran away and the Bible and the Ramayana. Well, of course, the Ramayana got the good book, the Ramayana, the mind in mature. All right? And today now you're hearing so many mistakes with the Holy Bible. They said the Quran and the Torah is only two clean books. Friends, we have to do better. Stop the fighting. Stop fighting your neighbor for land. Stop going to the Obeah man to kill innocent people and do them wrong. And you men, think of your wife and do not take second-hand cradle. There's too many diseases in the country. AIDS is a disease. Do not discriminate. So I urge y'all in the name of God, let's unite for national front government. A government when the leaders of the country will be from the land and not those who arrived and those who came as slaves. It must be the people of the country. Can any one of you go to heaven and take where Muhammad place? Isa, Musa as a Muslim? Or you Hindus take away Hanuman, Ram, Krishna, and other, or Mother Sita, a Lakshman place, if they are your goddess and God? Or you black people, can you go to heaven and take away the crown from Jesus? God won't tolerate that bullshit. Why you're in a country don't belong to you and you're treating the people worse than the white man treats your ancestor? You lock him out from education. In his own country, you rape his woman, breed them, and you're talking about the white man? You better put some mirror around your house so you could see yourself. While you Indian, you don't talk race. But my friend, y'all are so corrupt. I got you in my family too, you know. I got both of you in my family, so I can tell you. Y'all are so blasted corrupt that snake will keep far from y'all. Trust me. You know, y'all might be offended, but guess what? I care less, I don't care one shit. Because we are victims of both of them. Think of it. And Mr. Ali, learn a little diplomacy when you go back into the UN. You have been speaking and throwing spit in the American face and the British face as much as the French. When you're talking about reparation for African slaves, when you cannot give the Amerindian in their own country where the president their rights. The country is their own. You Indian divide India, and you have Pakistan, Afghanistan, and all them stand, and yet you can't understand? Come on, man. Y'all may not like it. Who y'all gonna pay to kill George Correa? A ignorant black man who ain't got no education? Or a crackhead, or a prisoner? Because that's why y'all do a lot. But you know something? Let me warn you, the black killers. When a corrupt Indian businessman pay you to kill somebody, don't tell him no. Because if you reject it, you don't have a month to live. They're going to make you dead by accident or eating poison. Or they're going to lie and you put you in prison and they're going to hang you. Because they want to kill somebody and you know about it and you ain't do it, they know you're going to talk. So they're going to get rid of you. And even if you do it, get out of the country, soon you don't kill the person and go and talk. Are you and your family going to be it? You think they can allow you to live to say, I pay him to kill Correa? Are you mad? Which bed you sleeping on? What crack you use? Or marijuana you smoke? Or liquor you drink? Tell me, are y'all illiterate? They kill you when they're done. And when you take the job, they're not, when they offer it, you don't say no. Are you really belong? God, they got to fulfill that dream. And before you talk, brother, you're in hot water. So when they tell you to kill Correa or anybody, say, yes, boss. How much? And go to the U.S. Embassy or the British, ask for political asylum with your family and expose them. Take it from me. Same goes to you magistrate judges. You hear? A man said in Queens the other day that he could get anybody locked up because money talk bullshit one. And magistrate and judge love bribe because they're hungry. I had to sit down and smile because he knew what he was saying. And he said, if you talk to the right politician and you give them some money envelope and do something nice to them, you could get anything you want. He's not lying. Is that democracy? Ladies and gentlemen, I call upon all of you to stop your nonsense. I call upon the entire world in solidarity for the people in Israel as much as Palestine. It is very important that we speak with one voice so we can do what is right for humanity. So much killing in the world. And one more thing, advice I want to advise you. Today you heard about global warming. And you heard about cutting down the forest. And yes, it may have a lot of sense in it scientifically. But what about these bombs and explosions that firing in the air? Isn't that causing a problem too? Excuse me. If you throw in 50 bombs every hour, boom, 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 what are you doing to the world? Isn't the scientists should tell you them explosion and light, when it flashes with a noise, it creating a problem for the atmosphere, the equator? But you talk only about the jungle, the forest. Yes, that might be a part, because there will be no particular good oxygen, and the sun will penetrate and we'll have deserts. But what about those explosives? All those big bombs firing right now in Israel and in Ukraine and other places. Isn't that an effect? That Mother Nature is acting in such a manner, flawed in different various parts of the world? So, my friends, be careful how you point your finger and what you say. Because we are all living in this world temporary. And let's unite and make this place a paradise, so when we gone, our children and grandchildren must continue the legacy until the coming of the great God or judgment. I am not offending anyone. I'm telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. It is time for we to wake up. There's no such thing as a white man, a black man, a brown man, a yellow man, a Chinese man. The Bible says God made man in his own image and likeness. And that is how it should be. They said 24 hours a day, 12 hours in the night is dark. While you all sleep, that is black. While you sleep, you should wake up. And in the day, it's clear. So let's get off of these negative things and look to a better future. And for those who intermarriage, white marry black, black marry blue, blue marry green, congratulations, you have bridged the racial line to show that humanity have nothing to do with culture and race. Friends, in the name of Almighty God, Allah Bhagwan, I call upon everyone, let's unite. Let's call to an end to the war in Palestine or any other country like Ukraine and others. What are we killing people for? Land? Position? We all have to die one day. We don't take it with us. And again, if Ali is doing good, it's our duty to support the man. But a good politician does not live by praise, Ali. Criticism also is a part of a political affair, like a preacher. The biggest thieves in the world are politicians and preachers. Some preachers, God and Jesus talk to them, he talked to nobody else. I'm not saying that God may not give the gift to some of them. And when they collect your 10%, it's not for them to put it in a bank and buy big house and car, plane. Like one a little while ago says, you know, when Jesus come, he come in a better plane than he owned. Hypocrites. Come on. Live good with your neighbors, your family. Share your love and hospitality, and everything will be okay. Intermarriage with anybody. Religion, man make religion, God make man. Is a Hindu man or a Muslim man or a Christian man is different. They all have the same body parts. So friends, I would like you to analyze what I'm saying. And for the person who are making comment on my program, if you don't put your right name and a picture, I will consider you a ghost. And maybe you don't know your mother nor your father. So I want you to understand clearly, I have nothing against you. You live in darkness, you will die in darkness. And I'm not responsible for your intelligence. But I call upon the United States to take Guyana Island and make your base. Since you came out of Puerto Rico, you should have been there. And let it be known to the Indian and the black, America still have claim in Guyana at the airport. And listen to the name, Atkinson, Timeri, and now you all call it Jagan Airport. My dear God. I ask you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell so you get the next updated one. And I am your host, George Correa. Peace, salam, shalom, namaste. Have a good day.